venue calendar, and it's just for internal for the venues to keep track and notes of certain things. Okay. Then we're going to go to reservation list. So mine's got quite a few reservations on already. This is the unique booking ID. The system will allocate to the booking as it comes in. If the user clicks on it, it takes them into the booking. You can use the search function to search for any booking, and it can search by any of these columns here, by booking ID, the extension ID, the date, the title, anything on here, you can search by that word. Okay. So now that's the booking ID. The extension ID is a numerical number that gets allocated to the booking. Date from, the date that the customer is checking in, and this title automatically from the online screens, it will apply a title, but you'll see in a booking you can also change it to wedding, anniversary, or conference, or anything. There is the customer's last name, and if I hover over, you'll see the customer's first name, how many guests, what rate did they book at, or if it's a company, you'll see the company's name. Okay. Anya, who's the coordinator? Is it the online booking? Who was the coordinator that made the booking? These colors are under your legend, and the venue's also got the opportunity in a venue setup to change these colors to their own. But that is what it represents. So red is unpaid, green is paid, grey is quotes, and whitelist and secured booking. And you'll see as we go along, it will change the colors of the booking. The status of the booking is a quote or invoice. This is a copy function. So when I click on it, it says make a copy, and I make an exact copy of that invoice with its own unique number, but it's warning me and saying you cannot book room 2 because it's already booked out. Okay. And now I just need to delete the room from here. So that's the reservation list, and then the date the booking was created. And then if a quote was emailed or invoice was emailed. Like I said, that's the legend color. It's the status of the booking. The actions you can do here, I'm not going to go through a lot because it's our old people that use it. It's old option, so I'm going to go fast through it. You can start a booking from there, create new. Okay, and you can print the reservation list from any date to date. You can export it to Excel and export details, meaning every line on every invoice. During that time, it will take it to Excel. Then the filters, we always start on active bookings, and that is your invoices, quotes, inquiries, pro forma invoices. But if I want to see all my inquiries, I can just click on it. If I want to see all my quotes, if I want to see all my invoices, or if I want to see all my completed bookings, what's in the past and it's still due, what is deleted, what's in waitlist, guess that's waiting, in today, who's coming in today, who's going out today. Then hide vouchers. So our system can also send happy birthday and anniversary vouchers. And if you don't want the vouchers to show in your reservation list, you can just tick hide vouchers and it will hide your vouchers. Okay. So I'm going back to active. Oh, so it's easy. If I want to go into the booking, I can find a booking and I can say OV. And what has got OVN, and yes, this is the booking I'm looking for, and I can go in it and I can say, now I can make changes to the booking, whatever I want to do. Okay, any questions so far? Nothing. Okay, so I cannot hear you. You're both muted. Does not have a microphone. Okay, Brian. So I'll try to keep the chat open on my other screen and see if you communicate with me there. But
No, it's okay.
otherwise, I'm just going to go along. Okay.
Okay.
Brian says he doesn't have a microphone, so he'll communicate in chat, and I'll try to look at it all, when it pops up. Okay. Then, so all your bookings, may it be from booking.com, Expedia, from online, or user that make it compels to this reservation list. Then we've got a few options how you can book your accommodation. The first one will show the rates on the screen, the rooms that's blocked, and everything. So I can say, I'm looking for a room for the 19th of November. What am I looking for a luxury room, and at what rate? Otherwise, it will always open up to your default rate. So let's say I'm looking for a bed and breakfast, and there's my luxury rooms bed and breakfast rate. Now, if I want to book the room, I can just click the 2 nights that I want. I can also book multiple rooms on one invoice, different dates. I say checkout, and it asks me who's going to sleep in the honeymoon suite, 2 guests, and then who's going to sleep in the adults. And then we cater for 2 child rates and also pensioner rates. So if I say 1 adult, 1 child is sleeping in that room, any value added extras the venue can add onto their online booking. So I want a romantic turn down for 1 night, and I want a welcome basket in both rooms. You can add breakfasts, anything that you want to. Okay. Then if the client's been with you before, the email will pop up and you can just say, click it, and the details will autofill for the client. Then we also have pay gates. Most of our African customers are using PayPal, but there's quite a lot that also uses PayFast, but you have to have a South African bank account to use PayFast. Okay. So mine is on both. I've got a pay now and a pay later. We allow a venue to set it up. If they want everybody to pay now is activated. If they allow them to pay later as well, they can set it in the venue setup. And then finish, and it sends the customer the invoice with a default message set up already. Okay, your booking was successful. And it goes into the customer's email and they receive it with a message. If I want to go back into that booking, I can just click on the booking and there's my total booking. So that is from the accommodation screen, very popular screen because it shows the rate that you're currently booking at. I can switch to full board. I can switch to any of my rates that I offer here, and it will change the rates of all my rooms or campsites. Okay, accommodation search, more or less the same. That's popular in peak seasons for venues. And they say, I want to see what I've got available from the 22nd to the 24th of November. And I'm looking for a luxury room. And I'm looking for it at bed and breakfast or bed only rate. Check availability, and it will only show me what is available for luxury rooms in my date selected, and it will also show partially available. Then if I want to book the room, 3 nights, check out. And here I've got 2 child rates in for that apartment. So I go for room 1. So I can say I'm bringing 1 adult, 1 baby, children under 3 years and 3 to 12 years. It depends on the venue. We don't force the child policies on them. It's up to the venue how the rate are working. Okay, and I go next. So you see, this room can only take 2, maximum 2, and I'm trying to book 3 people in it. So it will also not allow them to overbook a room with the maximum packs. Finish. And the email is sent to the customer. The booking is completed. Okay. Then we've got monthly accommodation, also a very popular screen. This one is popular, but it doesn't show the rate on the screen because the screen is too small to show the rate. So here, once again, I can go to any date. So I'm looking for 1st of December. What's my availability? I can go to a category and it will only open up that category. Or I can say I want to see all. And then I can still select a rate. And now I'm going to book at full board rate. Or I want to book at bed and breakfast. I can now book at bed and breakfast. And the same applies. I click on the nights, next, and it's for one adult, next. Okay, the only difference from this screen from the others, okay, I can go back to today, is the following. So let's say Henriette is booked on the 19th in the honeymoon suite. She changed her mind, or there's a problem in that room. I want to move her to another room. Just click on it, drag it, and it then updates the room to the booking with another room. You can also move it from date to date. So they're only coming next week, Tuesday. I want to move them to another room, another date, and it updates the booking. If I want to go into the booking, just click on the booking and it takes me into the booking. Okay, so these gray blocks that you're seeing, we also deal with split accommodation. So meaning you can either book the full apartment or you can book the separate rooms that forms part of the apartment. So if I book that weekend and I go next, okay, and I go, there's a bit of a delay on the Wi-Fi with us. Fresh. Okay, so now you'll see there's my booking. I booked the apartment. So room 1 and room 5 forms part of that apartment. Immediately if I book the apartment, it closes up the rooms that is part of that apartment. And that we call split accommodation. There's not a lot of PMSs that offers it, and there's a lot of places that uses split accommodation. So if you find a property that's got a guest house, sometimes they book it separate rooms, and sometimes you can book the full guest house out. That is how they would want to book it. So you can either book the full guest house out, or if I booked separate rooms, it will automatically close the full guest house. Any questions so far? Doesn't look like it, but you guys, everything that we're doing today is set out in the manual. It's very easy. I go fast. I know it very well. So if I go too fast, you can go back, you can pause, you can put me slower on YouTube, and then use the manual
Can you hear
also
me?
to. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I'm going to take you back to the issue of online payment.
Now,
Uh,
you jumping ahead. I'm not going to go there now. We're
oh, okay.
getting there. Okay.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you.
So the legend, once again, all the colors apply. So you can see the statuses of the booking. Pink is partially paid and all the red ones are unpaid. Okay, so then we've also got another way of booking your accommodation and all your other resources. This is my favorite screen. Okay, if I was managing a place, I would like to see this screen. It's got all my resources booked. If I click on the little plus here, it shows me all the apartments that falls under that category. All my campsites, my activities, my luxury rooms, I can see them all here. From this screen, it's also very easy. I want to make a booking for today, so I just click on the date. I want 2 nights for that room, and that one I want to book for 3 nights. Create a reservation, and there's my room 6. How many adults? And room 10, 2 adults. There's the dates. So one is up until the 6th and one is up until the 7th. It started at my default rate, but now I want to change it to bed and breakfast, and I can change it to bed and breakfast. If I click by mistake on a room, I can just remove it. This one, I can now say Henriette, and it autofills my information. I can select my country and I can finish, and it sends the email. Oh, invalid cell phone number. Fantastic. So let's just do it again. Okay. Okay, remove 82 8955595. We just published integration with WhatsApp. So on some of our screens, it still says invalid email info. So I just want to take a screenshot of this so I can send it to the team. We published WhatsApp integration Friday, and we're still working through a little bit of problems. Okay, copy. So sorry I'm doing this while we're busy, but I have to report any errors to them that are picking up. So I'm sorry that I'm doing it while we're on training, but I want them to fix it as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, so let's try again if I type it in another way. I want to remove it and I want to type +27. Okay, so you have to put the country code, but I want them to change it there so we can select the country code. And then it makes the booking. And there's your booking. Now, why I like the screen, I can immediately see my booking on the screen. I can say, show me the rates. It can show me the rates currently generated For bed only, I go to bed and breakfast, and it shows me the rates for my bed and breakfast. I can say show me the stay requirements, and it will show me stay requirements on any of my rooms. Okay, so that is why I like the screen. It shows me my occupancy. I've got free, and it shows how many are booked out of that free. Okay, shows me my occupancy of each category and each room. Now, also why I like this screen, I can go into the booking here, click on it, and it asks me, do I want to edit the reservation, mail it, print it, or check the customer in? And also, if they go out, it will say edit, mail, print, or check out. So if I want to go into the booking, there I'm into the booking. Okay. So that is why this is my favorite screen. And most GMs will like this screen because I can immediately see everything currently and my occupancy and my rates and show stay requirements. It will show me if there's a stay requirement on the room. Okay, then I'm going to go to, so that's all everywhere where you can book rooms. Then you can book rooms with the online link as well. That is the link they will put on their website behind their book now button. A guest will come in here. Of course, they will not have the menu. And they will say, I want those and I want to book. And they can decide which rates are available online. And all the rooms and availability they've got for these dates on that rate will open up. And a guest can just say they can read information about the room, they can read the venue's T's and C's, okay, and they can reserve the room. And it says a required minimum stay, and they can break down and say this room can take 2 adults, 1 baby, and 1 this, and they can break it up in the venue setup as they want it. And I say 2 adults. So I can even, as a logged-in user, I can also use this screen. So you can see online we already got the country code and the cell phone numbers fixed, where they select the country and it automatically add the country code into the customer's number. Okay, done and dusted. So that's all the accommodation bookings. Any questions on it so far? And that's how you can book accommodation. Okay. Then we also cater for venues that offers activities. You can either use this link, which shows all your activities in a list and it's in alphabetical order. Or they can place it under categories and they can say, and they can use this link online and people can book their own activities. So if I say quad biking, I'm renting out my quad biking 1 hour, 2 hours, and I want to book, and I'll say, okay, I want to book for Saturday, and I want to book this time slot, check out, and for 2 guests, and once again, any add-ons that they allowed, you can have it with as well online or available just to select. And as I finish, and there's my booking made. And it will send the activity voucher and the invoice to the client. Of course, if they book online, we force them into the pay gate. Yeah, but a little bit of delay under these teams, especially if we record. Okay, but while that one is going on, I'm going to continue on another screen. Okay, so they can have it either a list, but if they have a lot, they can categorize the activities into categories and a guest can then select zip line, and they can just get to all the zip lines and they can book a zip line. So all the pink ones don't have time slots in, then there's no time slots open, but all the open ones, there's time slots available to be booked. Easy. Okay. Activity find, we've built it specially for guests. That's got multiple activities, and a guest wants to book this one, and that somebody wants to book a 2 hour one. And I say check out, and I say the 1 hour, they will go at 9, and then somebody else wants to go on the 2 hour drive, and they're going 10 to 12. Next, and I say one guest, next. So I can book 2 activities on the online link on the same invoice. So, any questions? Okay, so let me show you, go back and show you what the activity looks like. The voucher looks like this. It sends the invoice and the voucher immediately to a customer, and it breaks it down. And there's my 1 hour and there's my 2 hour quad drive activity voucher. Okay, then we've also catering for tickets. So if a venue's got event tickets that they are offering, they can also sell vouchers online, and they can do any event tickets. So if I say reserve, and this somebody started this one but didn't finish it, so let me just quickly just open up another event. So let's make this event for Christmas Day, and it ends 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Okay, so if I go to tickets, and there's my events, you can see somebody didn't finish this one. There's no prices, so maybe I must just make it inactive. So, so there is a few agents that goes onto my demo because everything is set up. And then they make changes and they do stuff and they don't go back and fix it. Okay, so there's my event ticket setup. So now guests, I can put this link online and guests can then book for my Christmas lunch, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's, whatever I want to sell online as a ticket. And I can say I want to book for 2 adults, and there's you can say adults, children, per person, with lunch, without lunch, whatever way the venue wants to sell their ticket at. And I say check out, and then of course you can have anything added on extra. Wine bottle, a picnic basket, or whatever you want to add onto your booking. And I finish, and it sends the ticket to the client, the invoice, and if I have the online payment, they can pay me from the Pay Now button, which we're going to go into now. I just want to run through all the reservations, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like inside the booking. Oh, come on. There you go. Okay, and the same applies to voucher. A venue can also set up gift vouchers, and then on all the online screens, there's a space where you can add a voucher on the online screen. And if you bought somebody a voucher, all our online screens have a place for a voucher number or a promo code. They can also sell stuff with a promo code in Q2B. Okay, so that's all the reservations up to a ticket. So let me show you in a reservation. So there's the booking I made with the reservation for the tickets. Okay, my house sparkling wine and my 2 tickets for the Valentine's celebration on Christmas Day. My event doesn't make a lot of sense, but you will understand. If I want to print the invoice, there's the invoice. Okay, so it will be the venue's branding and their photo, all the customer details, um, all the items. If the venue's got a setup with a deposit, the customer can now click on the Pay Now button even from the PDF and they can pay the deposit, or they can go and they can click on the total and pay the total. And that is the so Bella, what was your questions about the online payments?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. For the case of Uganda, I'm not seeing. Let me say Uganda. They use a lot of mobile money. I think Uganda and Kenya and also Tanzania.
Yeah,
Is there a way that we need to talk to the service providers in Uganda to integrate it?
yeah. So normally all those countries, the venue will apply for PesaPal. We also integrated with PesaPal, and that's the only way a guest can pay online then.
Okay, I really don't know. Okay, you would say you're gonna go into the online payment later. Maybe after explaining it, then I can ask another question.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is mine is set up on PayFast. So if a guest can click there, they can go into the pay gate and they can pay it from the PDF. Okay, so that is if it's a ticket and it automatically creates a ticket. So when they arrive at the venue can also scan that QR code and check the people into the event. And that they don't need scanners or anything. They can just go to check in, check out, scanner with any device that's got a camera, a phone, a tablet, anything, and I can select and I can scan that QR code and the system will ask you how many people are entering and you say 2, and once everybody arrived, or let's say it's a ticket for 10 people, they all arrive at different times, all 10 guests arrived, the ticket scanner will say all 10 guests arrived, ticket expired. Okay. So they don't need special scanners to scan the ticket. They can just log in on Q2B on any device and they can scan the ticket. Okay. Then my activity bookings. There's my activity bookings I made for my quad biking. And as I said, it makes an activity voucher and you've got access to it again if you want to reprint it if the customer forgets his ticket. Accommodation booking. There is accommodation booking and I booked room 10 on this one. So let's say for instance, this one, I'm going to make it a conference. Okay, and that is my event name. It's an invoice. And then I want to add it to a company. So I want the company details onto the invoice. I can go company. If I don't have the company yet, I can create new. But if I do have the company, I can just add the company details. And now the invoice will be on the company details. And if I added the registration and VAT number, everything will be displayed on the invoice. Okay. So let's stay in this booking. So that's the dates of the booking from and to, but I can easily change it. And I can say this group is arriving at 8 already in the morning, and they're leaving only on Sunday morning, and they're leaving at 9. So I can also change the dates in the header of the booking. I can change the event name, I can change the coordinator if I want to, and then I can select the online function sheet. So online function sheet is I can send this function sheet to a client online and they can complete all their details. And a function sheet is where you will ask what time do you want your mid-morning tea, what time do you want lunch shift, what time do you want your afternoon tea, how would you like your seating arrangement, do you require a data projector, etc. Okay, everybody with me on that? Then I
Right.
can say, is this a quote, an invoice, or a pro forma, or is it just an inquiry? So I can change the status of this booking to a quote, and it immediately updates the document to a quote. Okay. If I want to go back and change it to a pro forma, I can change it to a pro forma, and again, it will change the pro forma. Then the revenue, all this revenue is currently going to accommodation, but now I want to switch it to my conference venue. It's a conference. I can now switch all this revenue to my conference revenue group. Origin is where did this booking come from? From Facebook. And these lists they set up in the setup document that they will send to us, the onboard document, and they can tell us which ones they want here. Then this little block is an internal note for the venue to use and not for customer. So I can say menu selection still required from client. I can make notes. I can even paste their whole email in that block just to keep track of them. Okay, then I can also say this conference is going to have 50 guests. And I'm booking at the bed and breakfast rate. Groups I'm going to show you later. And there is the total amount and on 50% deposit. But I can also change it and say, I want 1,500 Rand fixed amount. And immediately when I do that save print, the document changes to deposit of 1,500. So in a booking, you can also change the deposit what you require. Let's say I want the 80% of my conferences, and immediately it will change it. Okay, in this section, customer note prints on quote and invoices. So here I can make a note for them and I can say, please provide us with a purchase order, menu details outstanding. So I can make notes on there and anything that I type in there will be under header of the booking. So there's my note. Please provide us with a purchase order, menu details outstanding. Okay. So that is what we call the booking details, and that's the header of the booking. You can also switch them around and move around and work as you want to. And if you want to go back to the default, just click on save and it goes back to the default. Then we've got customer details. So this is my customer and I've linked them now to a company and I want to now call them a conference customer. Looks like some there. So I want to change it to a conference customer. I can put anything else in there, a ID number, a vehicle registration, etc. Then I can also say send a CC mail to info at. So any CC mail they can send it to. Date of birth we don't capture when a client is booking with us. We rather capture it in the check-in app. If I click on more, it just opens up more information about the customer. Okay, if it's a wedding, I can select the wedding date, and the system can also send a happy anniversary to the customers every year. If I go back up and say less, it opens up my line items. So now I've got my header of my booking, all the customer details, and here is what's on the or pro forma invoice at the moment. If I want to add more items, so let's create new. I'm going to close some of these tabs so we can save a little bit of Wi-Fi. Okay, I can select anything from what's on my price list. So let's say menu. So I want the conference menu. That is what the menu is part of, and I'm going to say it's for 50 people. Okay. And if a price is already on the price list item, which mine don't have, the price will immediately update. So let's say it's 250, and I can say lunch served on 13 November. I can put any notes in there as well. So there I've booked lunches out 250 ahead under booking as well. Now I want to book out the conference room. So any items, I can book a barman and waiter, and let's say 2, add them on. Anything on your price list. I can book, let's see if I still have Coke. I want Cokes and I want 50 Cokes. Any items that you've got on your price list. I can then also book out venue hire. Let's see if I still have venue hire. And I'm going to book out the boardroom for them. This is what it includes. And I'm going to say, I want to book out the boardroom. Okay. And there's my fee for my boardroom. And now my boardroom is booked. So if I only want to book the boardroom, let's say they're only going to use it from the 14th, from that date, from 8 until 5, they're going to use this main boardroom. I can book it out for that specific time and date. I can even on the boardroom have a seating arrangement that they're going to sit in. Okay, so there's a room booked out, packages, menus, etc. Okay, so or I can manually add items here. So flowers, at registration desk. So I can manually add an item. They've asked for it specifically, and I can say it's 550. And which department do I allocate these revenue to? Operations, because they're going to buy the flowers and they're making the money out of that one. Now I've got all that from price list or boardroom or flowers. And now I want to add more rooms. So I'm going to book a bed and breakfast rate is here assigned to the header. And I'm going to say plus rooms. And all my available rooms will open up. And I'm saying I'm going to book all these rooms for this conference. Okay. If it's one adult, 2 adults, and this little block, I can even say who's sleeping in that block, who's sleeping in that room. Okay. And it calculates. If I want to change the rate and I've got rights to change the rate, I can edit the rate. Okay. And I can say it's 500 and I can change the rate. But if a user don't have rights to change rates, they will not be able to change the rates. And then create new, and it will upload all those rooms that I've booked now. So that's how I can add multiple rooms. Here, if I want to add multiple price list items, so let's say they also wanted breakfast on a special day. So I'm going to say breakfast, and they're only going to be 20 that's taking that. I want to add another item, and I want to say water, and they want 20 waters. Okay, and I want to add another item. They want mixed ciders. They want anything that the venue's got on their price list. And then let's say dinners, and they want 50 dinners for one night. And I say create, and it adds all the items to the booking. If I want to apply a discount to the booking, and I've got rights to apply discount, I will have this button, and I can say, where must I put this discount towards? And I'm going to say, I'm going to put it towards venue hire. Okay, and I'm going to give a 10% discount. It calculates it on the total of the booking, but I can say venue hire. With any note in there, and now I can select only the boardroom, and the 10% will apply to only the boardroom. Create, and it adds a discount line on the booking minus the 250. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, then I'm going to carry on. So you'll see next to every resource, room or boardroom that I booked out, there's the point of sale button. So if I want to open up room 10 for the point of sale, when they check in, the reception can make it active, and she can even put a limit to it. And then the client's room is now opened up for POS booking charges, room charges up to 1,500 Rand. Let's say on the boardroom, they've got a bar tab of 5,000 Rand. I can open up the boardroom for 5,000 Rand. Every room I can open up separately for a different amount if I want to. Now, when they check in and they start doing room charges, the POS will post a line in here, and it will say bar 10, room number of bar name, and room 10, and all their charges. Then on top here is another button that says room charges. So if you want to print out a specific room's room charges, you can print a full list for them of all their room charges. I don't have a real point of sale link to mine, so I don't have that button. Good. So that's how they activate the room for the POS, and the POS will then recognize them on that date at 2 o'clock. The point of sale will be able to charge any room charges to room 10 on the 13th of 11 at 2 o'clock. Right, then this little button is the old check-in, so you can still check a customer in and out from this, and it will warn you if the customer still owes you money, and the printed indemnity is next to it. We actually prefer the clients to use the electronic check-in, but the old way is still here, where they can print it and a customer can sign and they file the indemnity. Okay, and of course you can delete the line. So let's say they say, no, we're not going to have this conference lunch and we don't want that room anymore. Then a week later, they come back and they say, no, we want it back again. A venue don't have to go back. They can just say, delete, show me the deleted items with the little I, and I can just restore the items. Of course, if the room was booked out then, in the meantime to another booking, it will immediately show here in red and pink and say you cannot book this room, it's already booked on this booking. Okay, you're not going to remember everything that I show you today. You will have to visit the manual and then go and I'll open test sites for you and then you can play around on your own site and set up your own site. Okay. Any questions? Nothing. Okay. There we go to action. And that is what my invoice looks like now. So you can see all the items that's on my line items are now on the invoice. Okay, if I want a summary, now this is nice, especially if there's 50 rooms booked and there is quite a long email, invoice. You can also do a summary and then the system summarizes the rooms by categories. So it puts all the standard rooms together, all the luxury rooms together. It makes a shorter version of the full invoice. Okay, accommodation voucher. If you're dealing with a tour operator, they want a voucher without revenue. It just shows everything that's booked with no revenue. Activity, I showed you the voucher already. On a booking, on the audit trail, everything that you do gets recorded on a booking. Every user, time, the date, and what did they change. Okay, what they emailed since when we started and what did they do, and I can filter it up and down to see what was the last actions done on it. So it's an audit trail that happened on the booking. Then payments here. You can see all the payments from here, but if I just go and I click here, I can record on the credit card, I can record a payment. So let's say they paid yesterday at, you can even put the time in, 5:50, and they paid via EFT and they paid 20,000 Rand, and I can put a reference number in there. I can mail the receipt and I can print it in the same time. So I can mail the receipt to the customer and it goes to print, and this is what the receipt then will look like with the venue's details, customer details, and the message just says, thank you for your payment, attach here to your receipt. Okay, so from that little icon, I can record multiple payments and I can say they paid via card and they paid 1,000 Rand and I want to not mail the receipt or do anything, and there's the 1,000 Rand recorded. Now under action, there's payments and I can see all the payments. I can edit the payment, but you can also remove these rights from a user. I can delete a payment, I can print the receipt again, or I can remail the receipt. If it's an online payment, the PayGate will automatically capture the payment there, and it will put the payment in there. If it's a virtual credit card booking and the OTA sends the virtual credit card, automatically the virtual credit card will be captured here. Uh, Onlybookings.com and Expedia and Agoda's virtual cards automatically process. PayPal don't deal with virtual credit cards. They will have to charge it manually. Okay, CRM I'll cover later. Then we've got SMS integration. We've also got WhatsApp integration now. And as soon as you've got WhatsApp integration, you can also send up on this list. There's a send Wati, and then I can WhatsApp the customer. But if it's not activated for the venue, they cannot see it. Okay. Then guests I will return back to later. And then feedback, 12 hours after departure in the venue, they can set up our feedback. The feedback questions goes out to a client, and then they can also view what was the feedback of these clients. On a booking, okay. Then the function sheet, I can complete the function sheet here. I can print it here. I can print the extended one. I can also mail the function sheet to the client. The client will get it completed online, and automatically it will update Q2B with all the answers. Okay. And then I can also change answers in here. Okay. Anything I type in here gets recorded, and if the client updates the function sheet again, it will show immediately on the function sheet. The day of the function, you can print the function sheet. The first one is just all the questions and answers. And the second one is all the questions and answers, which is my favorite. It's all the questions and answers, the menu selected. There's all the venue hires, what's included, who's sleeping in what room, and there's all the items that they booked. Okay. So that is the extended. Like I showed you, you can print a ticket or a voucher, and you can also do split and move. So guys, I'm just going to take a 10-minute break, and then we can come back to the same link. So I'm not going to put the link off, just going to mute myself. 10:30, I'll be back. Okay.
No, thank you.
Hi guys, I'm back. If you're back, just notify me. All
Yes,
right.
yes, we are all here.
Okay. I just
No,
need,
me, I'm
now
here.
and
Sorry.
again, I need a cup of tea with all my talking. Go. So then let's do split and move. So what when venues also get, now they've made this group booking and it's for the whole company, but then they come back and they say, no, sorry, this person is paying his own room, that one is paying his own bathtub, and the cokes are paid by another department, etc. Then they want to not read a full invoice again. They just want to split some of these items to a new invoice. So I go to split and move. Okay, and then it says all the items I've got. So what do you want to do? I want to move room 2 and room 10 to another invoice. And I say split. And there it's now on its own invoice, own number, and I can change any details in here. And they've got their own invoice. Okay, with the two items. I can also now go back. It's 881905. And that is my original invoice. So now they come back, they say, don't worry, put it back to the original invoice. The company will pay for everything. Now they want to move the items back. They just go into this invoice and they say, this and this, or one item, move to this reservation. Confirm. And it's taken it off here, the second one, and it's put it back on the main one. There's the main one. So if I click save, you'll see there's room 10 and 2 back on this one. Okay, so that's split and move. Venues do get it a lot. Then documents on a booking. You can also upload documents on a booking. So proof of payments, ID copies, whatever you want to. I click on documents. I go action, create new, and I say ID of CEO, and I can say H. Krause, and I can choose the file, and I can upload the ID. So now it's attached to the documents. I can download it again and edit it. I can even upload, let's say, proof of payment for marketing department. So I can put notes on or room 10 or whatever, and I can upload a proof of payment and say, there you go. So with JPEGs, you can only download, or PNGs, and PDFs, you can preview the PDF as well. If I go back to the booking now, you will see there's two documents attached to this booking. They also use it for seating arrangement, decor photos. If the bride came for a viewing and how is the decor going to be, they upload the decor photos on there. They upload IDs on there, proof of payments on there, menu that they selected, the final menu, everything is uploaded under documents on the booking. Okay. Then Cassie is a thing in South Africa. It's a safety app which we supply to guests. Venues can supply it to guests. You can also have it personally. And if I select Cassie, Cassie will then, and I select this customer with cell phone number, it will send Cassie a message. The Cassie will send a link to download the app to this customer's phone. It's 35 Rand for our South African clients. If you do get South African clients, it's 35 Rand a month. And when you press help, I tested it the other day and it was 1 second, and then the police station phoned me and asked me if I'm okay. So it works. But if I click there and I say, okay, it sends a SMS to that client to say you can download the app here. And that's what we use for our guests in South Africa. Okay. And also staff, and it's a very nice app. So just so that you know what Cassie is all about. Okay. Then if you do have a motor account, and the pay gates are very strict these days, they don't open a motor account for you. You will be able to charge a client from here, and you've got their card, and they hand you your card. You put in the card details, the expiry, the year, the amount, and you say submit, and you can charge a client. But the pay gates are very strict about who and what, especially in South Africa. They don't offer motor accounts anymore, and stuff. And then you will be able to charge a client's card. Okay. So that's all the pay action. Okay, and then mail. So if I want to mail, whatever the status is, an invoice or pro forma, I click on the top one, invoice, mail, invoice quote inquiry, and I can mail the standard invoice, the long one, or I can mail a summary to them. Any attachments that was preloaded in the venue setup will be here, and I can select them and it will send it all to the client. Okay, terms and conditions, conference contract, wedding contracts, everything I can mail from here. Then we've got a RSVP link, a registration link, we call it. So let's say there's 50 guests in here, okay? And I want to send this organizer a registration link where all our guests can RSVP. I just click on it and it goes out and I'm done. Okay. So now if a guest then, so let me just open my mailbox and click on send receive. Can you see my mailbox on the screen now? No, at my file folder, I want this mailbox. Okay, did you see the screen? Okay, so there I can just now she can use this link to send it to all her guests and they can RSVP online. Of course, they will not have the menu like I have now. I'm logged in and they can say, I'm going to attend. My name is Piet Pompies. My email is piet@nomail.com. My cell phone number is 072 8995022. And we're going to be 2 guests and one is a vegetarian times 1. And then, of course, we have to ask in South Africa, I don't know about your countries, if we have to ask them if we're allowed to send the material. And if I say no, please do not, then I will be marked as no mail and the customer cannot be downloaded for marketing. Okay, and then it just says with the venue branding, thank you for registering for this event. We look forward to serve you, and the venue's website will be in there. Now, if I go back to that booking, you'll see all the guests that RSVP is here under guests. There's Pete, all their details, all their notes. If they check in with the check-in app, their signed indemnity bill will be here and all their answers and questions. Okay. So that's what we call RSVP and registration link. Okay, then the attendees, if she contacts you and asks how many guests are coming to my event, you can just by one click send her the attendees list. Or I lost my ticket or my voucher, you can just by one click send a ticket or a voucher, and the function sheet I already emailed to myself. And then I received the function sheet. And once again, if she clicks on it, she will be able to complete it online, and she won't have this menu because she's not a logged in user. Any questions? Brian, are you still okay? You following?
Yes, I'm still okay.
Okay, Bella, you good? Brian is still with us. Yay! Okay, it's a lot to take in, guys, and I'm going very fast. So you have to revisit the training manual and you have to revisit all these options. Click on it, play around with it, and get to know it. Okay. So these are all, and like I said, if you do have the WhatsApp integration, we can also do it for African countries. The WhatsApp integration, it works with a chatbot. Then we connect your chatbot and you'll have another option here that says, and I can show you that on a hotel that we activated yesterday. Okay. This is what we call multi-switch. They've got two hotels and then they link the two hotels so that they just have one log in on both properties. So even if you get a group with multiple properties, we can also do that. So just to show you what it looks like when they've got WhatsApp integration, they send Wati, and the minute I click it, it will send a WhatsApp message to this guest. And it will attach the invoice and it will send the invoice to the oh, Brian got lost, so let's just put Brian back. Brian, there you back. Okay. So if you have WhatsApp integration and the mail, send Wati, and then it automatically sends a WhatsApp and it can attach the invoice as well to the client. Okay. So that is what it looks like. Okay. So any questions on a reservation and what you can do with a reservation and what this is all about, all these buttons? You still following me? Then that's happiness. Okay. Then I'm going to go back here to reservations where we stopped with venue link. Okay. What I wanted to show you on a booking. So let's say this group, now they want to add activity as well. They can have an activity as well on the same booking. So they want to book at quads for the 14th, this time slot for 5 people. They can, on the same booking, book out the conference room, book out rooms, book out activities, and anything else. Okay, before I forget. Now, venue link is only for Q2B clients. Okay, And that allows clients in the same area to link to each other and do bookings for each other, overflow, like accommodation, activities, and tickets. So if I click here and I go to Quetta Lodge and I want to make a booking for them, I go into the real-time availability and their screen. And I say I want to book at room only. And now I can make a real booking for them. And they will receive it and see I made a booking for them. Okay. Which I'm not going to do because it's a real client. So our venues, just Q2B venues, can link to each other and I can say we can do bookings for each other. You can also set up commission structures with each other and then you can invoice each other for commission. I gave you so much bookings for the month, you gave me so much. Here's an invoice, pay me my commission. And they can do accommodation and activities for each other. Okay, so if I go there, I go immediately into Quetta's Lodge activities and I can even make an activity booking for them. And tickets as well. And if you go onto this venue and I give you access to come and play around in my demo first, please guys, do not make real bookings on these venues. It's real clients that's active on Q2B. Only the ones that you see your logo here is our demo sites. Only play on them, please. Okay. So I can give you access to my demo. You can come and play around here. But if you start playing around in Venue Link, please do not make bookings on these. They are real clients and they're going to wait for you and they're going to wait for your money. Okay, only play around on these ones. Okay. All right, so that's reservations. And then, like I said to you, we cater for venues to put their rooms online. So that will be normally a venue with less than 10 rooms and I want it per room and people always want to book the elephant room so they can select specifically the elephant room. Mine is set up on categories, meaning it will open up all the categories I've got available during this time. And it shows you categories. Okay. And I showed you this. You can see photos, you can reserve, you can read, you can see the terms and conditions, etc. And both links work the same. Just with online rooms, it's going to open up all your rooms. So if I go, I want to see my campsites, it's going to open just my campsites. I don't have rates linked to it, so it shows me there's no rates available on this because mine works by categories. Okay, then we're going to go to manage reservations. So the daily planner is an awesome tool and I'm going to pull it where we've got our conference in. It's normally for the operations manager. He wants to know how the function boardroom must be set up. And there's our conference. Okay. So there is the main boardroom, it's schoolroom setup. There's the package. There's all the rooms and who's sleeping in what room. They're going on activity. There's all the items that they've paid for and booked for. And it also shows me there's a function sheet completed for this booking. And the function sheet will have what time will you have lunch, what time will you have breakfast, what time do you have your tea, etc. Okay, so this is mainly used by the operations manager for setup purposes, getting everything ready. Then the activity monitor. So all those activities have time slots. But I want to print a activity report to see from this date to that date, apply. and I want to see all my activities that's booked, or I just want to see all my quad biking. So I can even select it by activity, or I can say just for those days an action, print, and it will only print the time slots that's booked. So I have a quad biking and a zip lining during that period. Everything that the customer paid for and booked for is here in the link. So, and the totals, the notes that you've made on the booking, etc., will show on here. Okay. So if I just say select quad biking, and it will only show me quad biking, let's do one date, and it was on the 14th. So I say I only want to report from the 14th to the 14th, apply, and I'm quad biking. There's my booking. If I want to go into the booking, I can click. If I want to start a new booking in the same time slot, I can click on new and it starts a new booking for me. I can also now say action print and it will only print that day for me. So I can see all the activities I've got for the day. Then I can also close a time slot. So I can say, or increase the time slot, only make it 5. I don't want more bookings on that day, and then nobody will be able to book anymore. I can also increase a time slot, and I can say I've got 12 available, and 12 people will be able to book. Okay. Then I can start a new booking from here. I can also create a new time slot on the fly. So let's say I'm doing a game drive tonight from 6 to 8 for a special group, and I'm going to take 20 guests, and I can even add a facilitator's name who's taking the group game drive. Now, if I want to go back to that time slot for today, it's already on today's time slot, and I go there, and there's my time slot I created for tonight. Now I can just click on new, and the booking starts. And I can say game drive for dinner group, whatever I want to. Okay, and I can say this revenue goes to activities, save, and there is the time slot and the line in. All I have to do is 20 guests and allocate the 20 guests to the time slot, and now it's booked out. So on the fly, you can create time slots that you specially created for a group or a special time slot, increase a time slot, or close up a time slot. Okay, can I continue? Are you still okay? Coping. Okay, then we're getting to events and vouchers. I'm going to say, okay, I've got this event, the other one I just changed the date, but let's do that Christmas one they started. So I can say action, create new, and then it's going to start. I'm not going to create a new one. I'm just going to finish this one. And I'm going to say, this is my Christmas lunch, and it's going to start at 11, and it ends at 5. And I say Christmas lunch 2024 is my event date, 24 hours before the time the link must expire. I don't have an age restriction for my Christmas lunch. And where am I going to have it? In my hall. Okay. And then I can put details on. about my lunch, I can say menu for our lunch. And I can have my full Christmas lunch in here. Starter, main, dessert, tea, coffee table. Okay, I can add links in here and I can say download our menu here. And I can say there is I want my link in there, insert link, and I can paste the link for the document in there, confirm, and it will now they will be able to download the link. Okay, so any links, videos, menus, documents, you can add it in there. So that is now my top of my event. Then I can create prices and I can say lunch per adult, and that is 450, and I'm going to sell 100 adult tickets. And then I can say lunch for child 0 to 3, 50 rand, and I'm only going to allow 10 of them. And I can say lunch for child, just how they want it to 4 to 12. How do they want to display? They can type in anything there. And let's make that 250 for a child. And I will allow 50 people, children that age. Okay. And there's all my tickets set up. If somebody books a ticket, please send them this attachment with. So immediately when I select that default attachment, it will go with when somebody buys a ticket. Okay, then I can upload an image for it. Let's see if I can quickly get an image. So if you do play around and you want to create your own event, just put something nice there or put a photo in there, or at least um, um, make it inactive if you're not going to use it. If you created the event, it's not active, it's not nice, just remove the images or whatever. Okay. And then I can upload the image for the event. My prices are set up, and now I can go and I can advertise and people can book my Christmas lunch. And there's my prices. There's all my information about the event, and there is my lunches set out. Okay. Now in a ticket, we've also added a little bit of marketing where venues can say when one night they can make it big and they can run a competition. When one night free by registering here. Okay, and you can put your terms and conditions on it, etc., etc. Now, this is what we call what they put, you know, what they put behind the toilet doors or on table talkers, and then they say, scan here to win a prize. It will be the venue for Christmas lunch, win one night free by registering here. People take their phone, they scan that QR code, and then they are registered as guests or as people that wants to win the one night free. Now, what that does, it just accumulates data for you for future marketing. Okay. And then what we've built in there as well, if you give out prices, now you can say lucky draw, and you've got a lot of guests now that scan that QR code. All the details are here, and then you can allocate with the spin. It spins randomly, and you can allocate prices to them. And then, of course, you can export your list as well. Any questions on that? Okay. Then, of course, you can see who's the guest who bought tickets from you. You can print or take the ticket list to Excel. You can see all the bookings that was done for this Christmas lunch. Okay, and currently I don't have anything on that Christmas lunch, but I can see a full list of all the bookings. Or alternatively, I can go on the bookings, I can go into the bookings, I can see all the feedback. So feedback goes out 12 hours after departure, and it goes out to the guests, and I can see all their feedback. Okay. Any questions? So if I go into this one, you'll see the system calculates. That's how many tickets you have. You only sold that. That's the values. And as I check in, it will automatically record them as checked in. Any questions? Okay. Then on the reservation list, you saw there's a few green ones. That's fully paid. So let's make another one fully paid. And just to create a payment on it and save. And I've got, so I don't want to go into each one and go and mark it as completed when they've paid me. I just want to go to manage mass complete and manage reservations. Now say anything before this date, only with a zero, show it to me. So they all invoiced, they're all paid in full. I can just tick them there on top and say complete. And the system then automatically moves them to completed. And in Q2B, a completed booking is a fully paid invoiced booking. And now you'll see they're not here anymore, the green ones, but they will always remain under the completed ones. Good. So these bookings are all incompleted. It's just a easy way also to clear old bookings. So let's say from this date, 28 August, I untick all of them. I say generate list. And there's all my bookings. And now I can say delete all of them or complete all of them. Close them all up. So you can see I'm very lazy to capture payments on my demo site. So they all have outstanding amounts. Right. If I do a lot, it takes a while. But then if a venue wants to close up all their quotes, old bookings, they can do it easily by doing it that way. Okay, so now my reservation list is faster, quicker, because I closed all the history. Even if it's old quotes, I can say anything from this date. So quotes that I did from before July, generate list. If there's old quotes, I can click it and say delete it. It's not going to happen. Okay. Then incomplete online. Incomplete online, it means if people went onto your online link, but they didn't complete their booking. So we capture all their details for you. Maybe when they went to the pay gate, they opt out or they completed the bookings, but they never clicked on finish. We capture their details. The venue can contact them the next day and say, I see you've been online yesterday. Can we assist you to complete your booking? Okay. Unpaid online. If you do not have a pay gate online, you can also check all your bookings that was done online and they haven't paid you yet. Okay, then resource available. So Q2B also can manage returnable inventory items. So let's say I want to see over this weekend from the 14th to the 16th, do I have a data projector available? So returnable inventory items is normally your tables, chairs, data projector, PA system. We even have clients that's got porty potties. You can manage anything from here. If it was booked out on this date, it will show 50% one of your data projectors were booked out. So then I know I've only got one available. So that's what we call returnable inventory items. So if we go back to my conference booking and I go here and I say create new resources, room or activity, and I say data projector, okay, and I say book it out for me for this date from 8 up until the 15th, and they will return at 1 o'clock. If I select it from the price list items, which somebody removed for me, I can immediately say higher data projector and it will have a price in. So I'm just going to add it to my price list now and I'm going to say 550 and it goes to equipment rental. Okay, and I say save. And now the data projector is booked out for that time from the 14th to the 15th, 1 o'clock. Okay, then customer messages. So this is for bookings.com. So all bookings.com bookings comes into bookings.com from a bookings.com client. We pull the message in here. You can click on the message. A reply box comes up here and you can reply directly out of Q2B to a bookings.com book client. You don't have to go and log into your bookings.com to go and reply to those clients. Okay, then we're going to get to groups. So we've done a conference and let's say that is a group booking. So I'm going to go back to my reservation and I'm going to say, I want to put this booking into a group booking. So do you see here under company rate, group? I want to create a new group and I'm going to say here and Q2B and that is my group name. And I'm going to say add and save. Then now they come back, like I showed you, they say split these invoices. They must all pay for their own room. And I'm going to split room 10 now, and I'm going to say split. It creates its own invoice. And I'm going to change the customer detail. Okay, and now the booking goes to that person. Okay, I'll show you that later. And now it's still under the group, but it is on its own invoice. Now, if I go to groups, now there is my group. And if I click on the pencil to open the group, here I can see both invoices that's linked to the group. So I've got, that's the group name. This is the main contact. I can put notes in here, bar type for own guest's own account, blah, 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 whatever I want to. I can also link a function sheet to this group and send it to the group organizer, which is this contact person, and she can complete it online for me. So the minute I click save, I can now complete the function sheet, print it, or mail it to the organizer, and she can complete it online for me. So it can either be in the booking level or on a group level. So it shows this group is here from the 13th to the 17th. This is the organizer. I can say bar tab only for local beers and soft drinks. To make a note on the group, there's the dates. It shows me how many rooms are booked, 2 reservations. It's a total of 50 guests and who checked in. Now, let's say, for instance, there's another invoice that I want to add. I forgot about it. And it must also form part of this group, but I didn't include it. I can go back to the reservation list, find it, and attach it to the group, or I can just go to add, and I can search by reservation ID, customer, title, coordinator, and I can say Krause, and all my Krause lot comes up, and I want to put this group, this booking also under this group. I want to put that quad biking and that one also under this group. Okay. And now they all form part of this group. And when they check out, I can see immediately when I go to groups that they all settle their bills. This one is, once again, the colors do apply. It's partially paid, these are unpaid, and that was still in quote status. From here, I can go to the booking ID. I can open it in a new tab.
I can't hear you. Hello? Hello?
Off now. Can you hear me now? Bella, can you hear me?
Yes, now,
Okay.
now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't. Somewhere I'm touching something on my earphones and it goes off. I'm trying not to touch anything. Okay, so you can set up programs for your group. So that's day one, what they're going to do, day two, what they're going to do. And there's all the contact details and the company details in as well. So you can set up programs for them. You can mail it to them. And once again, if you have WhatsApp, you can also mail them. So you can mail it to the group contacts. You can mail it to other emails and say program for year end. And you can say, hi, Henriette, attached here to your program. Okay, and blah, 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 and mail it, and it will mail it to her. And you can include all the customers, all the ones that's on the invoices, and you can include all the guests that also use the RSVP link. Okay. Oh, come on. Sorry, looks like my Wi-Fi just dropped. Okay, let's not wait for that one. And I say exit. Okay, then also you can create a rooming list. So there's all the rooms that's booked and there's the names that I previously added in. And now I can add more names in. And I can allocate guests to rooms if they give the venue a rooming list. And of course the venue can print the rooming list. So when the group arrive, then everybody knows and they know at the front who's sleeping in what room. Guys, and you can take everything to Excel as well if you prefer to work in Excel. If you want to message them all, so here you can say group contact, include all the customers, send them a WhatsApp, and then of course you'll have a template in WhatsApp that you can select here and say send them this template, and then WhatsApp them all and say, unfortunately, we're expecting rainy weather. Please bring umbrella. It's like one of our venues are there in Lesotho, and they had a minus 25 degrees in the winter time, and they quickly communicated with the whole group to say, please note the week you coming, we're expecting minus 25 degrees. Please come prepared with the following items. Okay. So you can communicate with the whole group, send them a program, update the rooming list, and that's how we manage groups. And before they check up, you can see if they all paid and finalized their bills. Anything on groups? Okay. Of course, guys, you can go here, YouTube, and I think I maybe sent it to you previously. Okay. But there, to our YouTube channel, did I send it to you, Bella? I'm going to put this link in the chat box in our meeting.
No, you did not send it to me.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat box, and then you can copy the link there. So all the training I do, I publish it on this site. Okay? And
Yeah.
you can go and visit any of this training. Go. And you can view even for the person that needs to. There's how you set up a ticket. Admin training, which we haven't touched. But there's quite a lot. Period revenue training, how do you pull that report? And it's all here. If they want to visit this, they can visit it 10 times over and over. There's CRM. So I'm also going to place your training on the site, which your people can go back to, but there's also additional training, how to set up an activity set resource, and there's quite a lot here that you can revisit. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then, so we are at groups, and then we're going to do check-in, check-out reports. So for check-in, check-out reports, if I want to see for this weekend, so let's say from that date to that date, give me a check-in report, show me check-in, check-out, or just show me who's checking in. You can sort it by any of these. Location mean by room number, by last name, booking number, or by date. Include value will show the total of the invoice, or include the outstanding amount for me and the customer's telephone number if we need to phone him. Internal notes or the show notes is that name, who's sleeping in that room, Bella, Brian, or Henriette. Okay. And there you go. I don't have any, my venue is going to close up soon because I don't have any guests checking in. So let's do it up to there just to get data. Okay, so there is all my guests checking in from today up until the 20th. If I want to communicate with them, I can send a SMS, email, PDF, Excel, and I can also WhatsApp all of them. Okay, if the WhatsApp is activated for my subscription, I will be able to WhatsApp all of them. And this is also a way where you can communicate with all the guests, or you can just print your check-in, check-out list for the day. The venues also use it for their meal plans, so they can see each guest that comes for breakfast, they tick them off. Yes, they booked bed and breakfast right. No, you only booked room only right. You can eat a breakfast, but we'll charge you for it. Blah, blah, blah. And there you can see everything on the list. Okay. And the same applies to checkout, stay over list, whatever you want to. You can also do all three on one report. Okay, ticket scanner I showed you. So it's to scan those event tickets. Okay, and then our housekeeping. So there's a few changes coming next year on housekeeping for us. Okay, so currently it's just a dead list, and it shows me on the 13th I've got 8 rooms, 7 in total, coming in, going out, nothing, and 1 staying over. And there's the room names, the guest names, the dates, and everything. So next year it's going to change where you can select the cleaner's name, and they can tick the room ready, room not ready, after they clean the room. Okay. Then gate control. So we also offer gate control to a venue where it replaces the book and the pen at the gate with a guard. It replaces the guard with a tablet. Okay. The guard has a tablet. They hand it to a customer. He comes in. Okay, I can put my reservation number in there, or I can search by last name, or I can go in as a day visitor. And I can say my name is Henriette Krause and my email is henriettek@gmail.com and my number, my vehicle registration, and with 2 guests in the car. And what's the reason for the visit? I'm coming to your restaurant. Next. And why we do it? A venue wants to capture everybody that comes through their gate so that they have the details. And I drive, give that tablet back and I drive through. The same as that you will sign a book um, and stuff. This works the same, but yeah, the customer types in his details, it's correct, and you capture all that data for future marketing. Okay. And you can do the same without, and then you can decide, do I want to record who's going in, who's going out, or just in or just out. Okay. So that's gate control. Then the accommodation check-in and activity check-in. So let me quickly do a accommodation booking for today. With the first available room. So venue tells us what they want to ask in their check-in app. Mine is just an example. Oh, I made it for yesterday. Come on. So, Brian and Bella, I can create your own venue for you, but then you still have to go and do the setup. So I think for you to start off with, I must create a login on my demo site for you. And then you can use, because a lot is already set up on mine. And then first familiarize yourself with Q2B, and then I'll give you a login on your own demo site. You can go and put it up and set it up, and then you will have your own demo site. Okay. So now let me just do a booking for today. What now? Where am I? 6. Yes, on the 6th. So if you hover over, you also see the date that you're booking on. I'm still at the 5th. Okay. And I go to the check-in app. So there's all the guests that's checking in for the day. They can have a device at their front desk where guest clicks on their name and they check in. We also have a pre-check-in link they can send to a customer where they can pre-check in before arrival. And also we offer a QR code which they can have up at their front desk. And the guest comes in, scans it with his own phone, and then check in with his own device. Okay. And they will click on their name. The first details are auto-filled. And this, oh, there's another telephone number problem. +27 +27 to 7. I removed the 8. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it in your time again, but I need to take a screenshot. Sorry. When we publish new stuff, it's unfortunately all these little problems we pick up. And then get the technical guys to work their butts off. Okay, and we go next. Okay. Sorry, I'm on 2 screens here now. Just want to send them that message. It can ask gender questions, which most people don't like anymore. Okay. And it can ask date of birth, so guests can complete their date of birth for you here. It can have options where they must choose an option. Then I can read your indemnity online. They can say, I agree. The app can take photos, so you can take a photo of the customer or you can take a photo of their license or ID card. And it can do signatures and then say finish. And it will show you 1 out of the 2 guests checked in. Okay, and now the next guest, we don't know his name yet and or her name yet, and they can complete their details in here. Okay. No. And the same applies for activity check-in. Okay. We can do an activity check-in for them where they can ask any questions, and we can also do an accommodation check-in. Activity check-in, we never autofill because it's normal activities goes with danger. So we want the customer to complete their own details and no wrong spelling or anything for in case something happens to that customer on the mountain or whatever. Okay, I'm not a activity fan. Okay, so then I say I agree or I don't agree, then it takes me back. And then for our activities, you can also take a selfie. Then the system can send you a certificate which is set up by the venue in the resource which says you completed our walking trail, and my selfie will be on the certificate. Okay, and once again, signature that I accept the terms and conditions. It can ask you any questions. Confirm your weight, confirm your fitness level, etc., etc. And it shows 1 out of the 20 guests checked in. Okay. I'm showing you all the stuff. It's not going to say that you're going to get clients that's going to want to do all this stuff, but you'll see as you meet with clients, one wants this, one can do this, one wants that, and I'm just showing you in general everything that Q2B can do. Now, all that stuff that we purchased online and booked online, you remember when I went online, I can say all these things, breakfast, romantic turn down, etc. But now I want to pull a list before check-in so I can see all the extras that I must prepare. May it be housekeeping, welcome baskets, anything that I must prepare. So we call it an extra list. And I say I want a list from that date to that date. And I want to see if there's anything on housekeeping and summarize it by day for me. So everything that was bought that housekeeping is responsible for, I can draw a report so they can see on the 19th for this booking, um, for Henriette, room 1, there's a romantic turn down. Okay, so all those items online, you can compile them to a list. And the chef normally or housekeeping will just come in here and they'll print a list for the day. And they'll see tonight there's 6 rooms that we have to do romantic turndowns. Or for arrival today, we've got 20 welcoming platters in the rooms. Okay. Everybody still with me and understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, we are here.
Okay. All right, Brian, I believe you will say no on the chatbot if you're not following. But it's a nice option if they do offer online stuff like wood or ice with the camping sites or whatever. People can pre-book their wood and ice and then they can pull a list and they can see we have to have 20 bags of wood ready for today. Okay, then guest forms. I will just explain it a little bit, but that is what we used in COVID for our clients, where they had to record what was your temperature, have you been in contact with somebody with COVID, and then the health inspector can walk in anytime and say, who's the guests here, what was their answers. So they could pull a list, select any dates, any questions on their check-in app. They can select any of their questions and say generate. And it will show you all the guests that's checked in and then what did they say or what was their answers, what was, and even in COVID it was, what was your temperature, have you been in contact, have you been tested, have you been injected, all that nonsense we had to deal with, and the date and the customer signature. And they could then just print it for the health inspector and they could see all the guests that checked in with them for the last week or so. So it's there. Actually, nobody uses it anymore, but we're leaving it there because we never know if we're going to need it again. And we want to maybe activate this. It's activated, but if you want, maybe we're going to go into anything else or something else, and the development is there, and we can just tell clients to use it this way. Okay. Then we're going to get to payments. So I think let's push it up until 12 and then we'll break for half an hour and then we'll do a next session. So we can just take a quick lunch break and a breather. Okay. Are you guys good with that for 12 to break?
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah, yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Brian says also yes. Okay. So, upload payments. So where we went into bookings and we did one by one payment by clicking on the credit card here, record a payment and say create. Okay. Now, if a venue's got a lot of places and they don't want to do one and search for it and pay, capture the payment, they can do a upload. So the template, you say get template here, it downloads the template for you. Okay, and it's just a normal spreadsheet, and I can show you what it looks like. Okay, and it just looks like that. So it's a booking ID that I complete, the amount, the date, the time, and the reference number. And they can go now and they've completed in the spreadsheet, save the spreadsheet, and then they can go and upload it. So they can also say, all the payments I'm uploading now, email the receipts to the customers. Okay? And I say choose file, and then I go and I upload the document. and I say upload. And there, all the payments that it could recognize, it will say matched. If I don't have the correct booking ID number in there, it will say could not matched, and this one I already uploaded, so it tells me duplicated. Okay. So all they have to do is put their bulk payments or all their payments from the that they receive on the spreadsheet, upload the spreadsheet and email receipts, and it will automatically email receipts to all the customers. Okay, of course, then we want the payments report. So let's do for November. I want to pull the full November. You can do it by user or you can do it for all. And there's my payments report for November so far. You can take it to Excel and you can print it. It shows how much is card, cash, and EFT, and there's all the bookings making up this total. Okay, then Paygate Recon, if they have a Paygate, like PayFast, PayZapel, Q2B Pay, and all of those, the Paygate, you can pull a recon in here and you can see all the monies that went through the Paygate. I don't have a real Paygate and no payments are going through, so it's going to come up blank, but it shows you all the payments that went through your online payments. Okay, and then your virtual credit cards. If they do virtual credit cards with Booking.com and Expedia, we pull the virtual credit card in here in the report, and currently it goes automatically at night and processes all the virtual credit cards that's due. But a client can also come in here and they can say for this date and show me all my virtual credit cards. All the details are here, and at the end there's a process button and they can click on the process and process the card automatically. Okay, they don't have manually, they don't have to wait for us to process it tonight. Then future payments report. So it's future bookings and you receive payments on them already. Okay, so I can say any future bookings, only payments before this date. Okay, so I can even go up to January and it will show me any payments that I received. So let's go November. I don't think I have bookings. No. And I received money and it's future bookings. Before this date, then I will get the report and it will show for me. January, I've got bookings. February, I've got bookings. March, but I already received so much money on it. Okay. Future bookings, and I received payments on it already. Future payments report. Backdated payments report. Now, this is only when a venue GM is an administrator and he wants to go and pull a report to see any of the users that they go into a booking. They can remove the edit and delete from a user and not give them access. If they give them access, he can still pull a report to see if any user changed payment information. Okay, so I can go here and I can say from that date to date, apply on screen and what user. So there I can go into the booking. I've got the booking number now and I can go and I can find it. Okay, and I can then go and I can see in the audit trail who changed payments or edit payments. Okay, so there's my payments and I can go in the audit trail and I can go here and I can say who changed what. So I can track anything that any user do. Okay. Then um, payments, future payments, backdated payments, refundable deposits. Once again, we can handle key deposits. So if you've got key deposits on rooms, it will automatically come up here. You can record it and you can say, I received 150 Rand remote and key deposit. Okay, and save. And it captures who received it. And then when they leave, I can say, I refunded 50 Rand remote lost. So I didn't refund everything. I kept 100 Rand back for the remote. And then, of course, the um, uh, refundable deposits report will show you who've received the funds, the deposit, refundable deposit, who reimbursed them, what was the reason, etc., etc. Now I can't remember the booking date, so I'm just going to do it on all. Okay, and it tracks and it says total received, and I only refunded 100, and the net amount is 100, and there's all my reasons. Okay, and then outstanding deposits. I can also, if your property is set up with key deposits, mine is not, you can pull a report to say, okay, these are all the refundable deposits outstanding. Okay, I just recorded that one to show you if you record something in the booking. But if there was a key deposit on each room, let's say 100 Rand for each room, it will automatically calculate it for you. Now I'm going to stop there. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. I'm going to go crazy. And then when we come back, we'll carry on with management reports. And we'll try to cover these ones today. And then we'll book another session for venue setup and CRM. Okay. But I've given you a crash course for now. So let's break until 12:30. Okay, guys.
Thank you. So we wait
Okay.
for, we're gonna resume at what time?
12:30.
Okay.
Okay. I leave the link open and I leave the recording active. So you can just come on the same link again. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
When we last met here, there were a couple of occurrences that when somebody is taking and remember this a lot. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I was saying, when we last met here, there were some occurrences that I want to draw your attention to, especially in regard to the law. This is the legislature which makes laws. It's important that see, come on, don't have no name to stamp. I want to firstly draw your attention to of our rules which provides for declaration of personal interest in any matter for the House. That's the first rule of the right now, Speaker, as we were handling the OPB as it has come to be known, and there was a dispute essentially related to the Speaker, the reason I'm going to this matter now is because it will help us constituents. We hope us constituents with all the business we are going to handle in this house. Honorable Speaker, the order paper that I have looked at has got a couple of issues. And one of those, the OPB. And again, like I'm saying, let me raise the matter. You're going to rule, right, Honorable Speaker. So as I was saying, Rule 94 of our rules of procedure provides for declaration of interest. What we saw, right, Honorable Speaker, on the national broadcaster and elsewhere were remarks made by yourself, right, Honorable Speaker, showing that you seem to have a particular interest in the coffee bill. You were explaining what we are having the work to chat with the government chief whip, and you asked him if he doesn't have a number. Right, Honorable Speaker, that was to show that he had interest in this matter. I am on procedure. Madam Speaker, our rules and he's a lawyer, procedure, ex precedence, point of order. So let me raise my point of procedure, which you're going to rule on. The Honorable Foxadori is a lawyer himself. I want to believe he attended time to read and that's what I was raising before I was rudely interrupted by a fellow lawyer. So I think to know the rules and even guide other members. Honorable Speaker, the matter of conflict of interest is a very critical one. As far as I'm concerned, based on that, your conduct, Honorable Speaker, I think you have an interest in this matter, and maybe you can declare that interest, and perhaps even excuse yourself from that matter, Honorable Speaker. The second and final issue that I'm raising is from our Constitution. Article 21 of our Constitution talks about equality and freedom from discrimination. And I have to quote 21 too. Without putting this to clause 1 of this article, a person shall not be discriminated against on the ground of sex, race, color, ethnic origin, tribe, birth, creed or religion, social or economic standing, political opinion, or disability. Honorable Speaker, we did see you make the fact. What we saw you say was, let's make sure this Baganda don't get the numbers. As we have said, this is not a matter of Uganda. Something is going in different parts of the country. So I was very disappointed to see my leader, my speaker, make those remarks. I think this is a battle against Uganda. And maybe the government needs to clarify in bringing this spirit. I look at it and Baganda. So that's not going to draw attention to our laws, the constitution, our rules of procedure, regarding the purpose of interest, which see you decently recuse and excuse yourself from presiding over this matter. But also the tribal sentiments, my speaker, that they didn't hear you make, that have got to be addressed by yourself, perhaps beginning with an apology, and then we'll see how we take things from there. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I thank the Honorable colleagues for following the issues that I've raised very attentively. Thank you.
Honorable members, I am happy that the law has raised an issue that I'm ready to respond to, and I will respond to it when I come to the issue of I'll give a very appropriate response to that when we come to the topic. Next item.
Zaki came out.
Yes, Honorable Minister. Ever indicates. Ever indicates.
Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I beg to move.
Yes, there's a procedure matter from.
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I am raising.
Come here. Vamos que yo ya vamos a leer un poema.
Madam Speaker, I have been here for a while now. We have been subjected to humiliation by security as we are coming to balance this morning. And this is going to affect the whole nation. We're moved from our vehicles, we're being stopped from parking. There are uniformed security personnel in the department who are more than 538 feet. Madam Speaker, I have no guarantee that you don't, because in our rule, you don't carry guns beyond the main gate. I am not certain that there are no guns inside this building. And I'm raising this because some of us are afraid. Including by the way in Ireland, some of this, Madam Speaker, will do privilege. This is for you to supplicate everybody to the duty. To make sure because family must be an atmosphere of free today. The way we came in and the hungry faces, you see, people who clean up just from here. We need to inspect all these rooms surrounding the campus to be sure that the atmosphere, a free atmosphere for us to have the debate exists. Madam Speaker, that's the point I want to
Thank you. Honorable members, we must be mindful that we also have the young sitting in the same building. When we came in, am not immune to anything. I mean, for the safety of the members of parliament, I don't have any problem with that. Honorable, honorable, let us pass move it. Let's move fast.
Right honorable speaker. Right honorable speaker and honorable colleagues.
Can I enjoy champagne now?
Sure.
Yes.
I take to move that the bill entitled Uganda National Road Authority Restricted Response be read for the second time. I take to move.
I love it.
Seconded by seconded by Honorable Frank, by Honorable Minister of Finance, by Honorable Bahati, by Honorable Sasisi, by the whole house on this side. Honorable Zake, Honorable Zake, Honorable Zake, you give Honorable Zake. Can you sit? Let Honorable Zake speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker,
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, if I am saying let Honorable Zake speak first, you don't have to show. You're going to force me to evoke those together in one. That never taken, you don't have to show the anything. If Zake has an issue, let it be handled. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I can see that I mean, Honorable Sasada is also deciding honorable. I am seeing honorable board, honorable board,
Masa, dia kerja zakat yang saya.
thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I wish to present a matter of order that is our safety and particularly my life. Being a victim of gun violence in this country, Madam Speaker, I've seen one of the security operatives inside this house. Behind, letting the subject of the subject of the court, Madam Speaker, personnel, Madam, the guidance. You must be silent.
Okay, no, but you're there. What's the side table? Huh? Potato.
From there. Listen,
Why you send me there?
listen. Honorable Zante. Honorable Zante.
There's a gun in the house. But I'm sitting by let the people official is subject to people that don't have a gun.
First wait. He comes. The sergeant at arms. This is the sergeant at arms. Sergeant at arms. Can you check? Check. Remove your jacket.
Go and lift it. According to the manner of video. Some of you want to like 85 years, I don't know.
No, anything they say to remove your
Some of you want to like 85 years, I don't know.
honorable members, the sergeant at the arms, the sergeant at the arms, and then nothing. He has done nothing. Can you sit? Can you sit? Can you can you sit? Honorable members, honorable
Take the speaker.
Instagram.
What can I get daddy? We're somewhere with your car.
Hi, Bella. Hi, met wie praat ek nou? Annelie is Henriette van Q2B. Yes. Ja, is reg. Ek hulle net gou sê hulle moet wag. Guys, just be patient. I'm just talking to a client. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to put you on mute, but I'll come back now into the training. Okay.
Hello. I'm not getting anything.
Hou net vir my gou aan, Annelie. Bella,
Okay.
Bella,
Yes. Yes.
just give me 5 seconds. I'm on a call. I'm going to be with you now. Just give me
Okay.
5 seconds. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, sorry for that. I had to
It's
take
okay.
this call. It is streaming in because Bookit now said they removing themselves out of South Africa. So it is going crazy at this point here. Okay, so let's go back. I must share my screen with you again. You can see my screen. Okay, and then we go back. And we stopped here at payment. CRM we'll do on another day because that's it on its own a bit mission. So now I'm going to go into management reports. And the first most popular report is period revenue report. And that will break down all your revenue. So I'm going to do October up until the 31st of October and display on screen. And it calculates now everything that my property did. First tier revenue, second tier revenue, all my accommodation, everything. It calculates my whole month for me. Okay, and this just tells me there's no POS connected. So if I had a point of sale connected, like then all the room charges will come in here. And it's only with BISFO that we've got this, where we recon all the room charges in here. Okay, so here you can see we break it down into two sections, financial reporting and operational. Financial, all these are little drop downs. So you can see out of my accommodation, I made 55,000 and it's broken down into this food, housekeeping and accommodation gets so much. The same with activities, the same with conference. So that's your revenue group, that's your first tier, and then your second tier splits is out of that rate, how much is going to food, beverage, activities is getting how much of it. Okay. And the same with conference, the same with ticketed events, and then unassigned means I didn't assign something when I added it on. Okay. Then I also have payments and it will show you all your payment types that you've captured for the month. There's my department breakdown and that's that second tier revenue. So I can see how much accommodation made, activities made, beverages, event tickets, food and housekeeping. Then we're going to operational reporting. So here is your occupancy percentage, your bed rate, your RevPAR, and if I want to see apartments, at what rate did I sell them? And once again, there's my breakdowns. Okay, and there's my luxury rooms, and there's my standard rooms. So each category of each room type, or stand or campsite, I can see how much money they made for me for the month. Then event revenue is your ticket revenue, how many tickets did you sell? And once again, you get a breakdown of how many people, free VIPs, pensioners, and with lunch that you sell. Okay, and then from the price list items, I added these items from a price list items. It also breaks it down here for you. Your occupancy breakdown shows you how many times this month did one person sleep and the two guests sleep in the room. Okay. And then reservation status, 17 in inquiries, 27 invoiced, and reservations completed was only 3. And then your activity revenue also shows here. So my game drives made 900 Rand in October. And then admin fees as well, we calculated here for you. Okay, so it's quite a detailed report. Then I can go action. health check. And anything that's unassigned, the health check will show you and you can change it and update it from here. It's the most popular report with all the figures in for those dates, from that date to that date. And it breaks it down for you and then you can export it to Excel. So there's all my items that I didn't allocate to department. So it shows you and I can edit it and it opens up in a new tab. Okay, and this point of sale PA system is not in a department. So I say it goes to equipment rental and what's the value? 500. So save and it's fixed. And then I can go and do the next one and next one until all these items are allocated to revenue departments. And then I can do health check. If it's clean, I can export to Excel and I'll have no unassigned amounts on my report. Okay, then if I take it to Excel, I go back and I'm happy and I go, please take my October to Excel. Okay, it breaks it down. All those little blocks that you saw on the screen, it breaks it down into tabs. So there's my total revenue, my department breakdown, my payments received, my point of sale recon if you have the point of sale connected, my rooms by category, my occupancy percentages, all of that, my event revenue, and it puts it all onto its own tab, and there's your whole month end. Okay, so very popular. If I go back to screen, just to show you, all these amounts are, it filters down its hyperlinks. So if I click on it, it filters down to all the bookings that's making up to 55,000. And now I can go into each booking if I want to, or I can export it to Excel. So that's how I made that 55 revenue out of these bookings. Okay, so everything becomes hyperlinks on the screen, and you can say, these invoices show me, and it takes you to the invoices. So everything becomes little hyperlinks for you. Okay, and that's how I made that total revenue with all these bookings. Once again, you can take it to Excel. Okay, then the monthly analysis is also a very popular report with the management of the hotel or the lodge or the guest house, because I can go back and I can go forward and I can pull a report on screen and I can split it into any of these groups. And you can take all our reports to Excel as well or print the PDFs. Okay, and there it shows me. September I made so much, October, November, December, and it shows how many for accommodation that I invoice. There's my occupancy for each month, but if I click on this little graph, it shows me my occupancy for the months that I've drawn for the period. Or if I click on this one, and I can see which days I'm not popular. Okay, so it's quite a nice report as well to see way forward. And you can see December, I'm not doing so well on mine. And there's all the ref bars, bed rates, invoice bed nights. It calculates it for you. The total bed nights is what you had available, and you only invoiced 61. If you want to know how do they calculate ref bar, just stand on the little eye and it shows you it's invoiced accommodation revenue by total nights. Okay. So there's all my calculations. There's my activities, also with autofills. So I can see which days my activities are popular and which days I'm not so popular. There's my events. Same with that applies. And there's other resources. Now, other resources can be your renting of your hall, your chapel, your data projector, and we put it all in other resources. That where you make revenue. All right. So then we get to revenue forecast. This is also a very popular report. A lot of accountants like this report more than the period revenue because they come in here. They say, please export my October for me. There it shows you in October how much is invoiced and how many is quote. Here's all your bookings. And they export it to Excel, filter the invoices um, out, and then they know exactly what was invoiced via Q2B for the client. Okay. Then department revenue, that's your second tier. So if you see how much did you make on when you hire, food, all of these reports are part of period revenue. We just break it down here in separate reports as well. So although your department revenue was in period revenue, you can also pull a separate report for that. And then you can see my beverages, my food, and each department, how much money did they make for October. Origins, so that's in a booking where you can select the origin. Where is this booking coming from? So here I can say origin, and then there's a report where you can pull the report and say, what is the origins of my bookings for October? Okay, and it will show you where your bookings are coming from. Then we go to feedback analysis. So if you use our feedback, like I said, 12 hours after departure, feedback goes out to guests, they answer it, and then the questions get submitted in Q2B. And just to show you what the feedback looks like, there's an example. So it goes out with the venue's branding and it says, welcome to blah, blah, blah. And your questions that you've set up, and a client can rate you 1 to 5. 1 is horrible, 5 is excellent. Okay, and then you can also set up different profiles for the venue. So they can have different questions for accommodation customers, different questions for wedding customers, for conference, and so forth. So if I just want to see my accommodation, then I don't have my feedback activated because I don't want to get all the questions because all the bookings are mostly in my name. So if it's a 1, it becomes a hyperlink. I can click on it and I can see who rated me so horrible. And 5 is excellent. This sad face and a very happy face. And then, of course, they've got a space for notes on the feedback. And then a client can also leave notes for you, which you can read and you can export it to Excel. So to show you Sani Mountain Escapes one, there's the example. And you can see the questions and they can pull a full report on it. Okay. Then also the same report that you can export here is also separate. So you can export that report. Online bookings, it will show you where your online bookings are coming from. And then you can also see where do you get most of your bookings from. May it be from booking.com, Expedia, or Agoda. And offline means a user made it. Online means it was from your online link. So we show activities, accommodation, tickets, we show all of them for you. Okay. Then the point of sale recon. So this report we've only got with BISFO, where they can pull the full recon of all their room charges into Q2B, and they can also pull a recon here for all the room charges. Now, venue link, which I showed you earlier, where you can link up with other venues in your area, they can make bookings for each other. And if you set up a commission structure with each other, you can pull this venue link report. It shows you who you made bookings for and who made bookings for you. And then, of course, you can invoice each other. The venues can invoice each other if they have a commission structure. We don't get involved into the commission structure. I didn't make any bookings for anybody, but it shows this bookings, you made it, this is the value, and this is your commission, and vice versa. Then user activity, any user that did anything on the system, you can pull a report on. If I say from that date to this date, apply all users, or I can select one user and I can see what they did. Okay. And I can say all activities, or I want to see what did they do on payments. And there's all the payments captured. So I can do it per user. By this is the user that captured payments, and there's the payments they captured. So I can check any activity, who deleted bookings, or you can draw a report on all the activities. Okay, so there's all the bookings deleted. And of course, if I go into the booking, it was done by this user. But if I go into the booking, the audit trail will also show that to me. Okay, so that is user activity. Then question analysis is all those check-in questions on the check-in app, where you can pull a report to see how many people selected what breakfast. So let's do that one. And let's do it from the 1st of October. So I want to see which breakfast is most popular in my property. And I can see only 2 guests selected continental breakfast with check-in. Okay. Then TOMSA is for South Africa. That is our tourism levy. So for South African clients, there is a setup in a venue where you can select TOMSA, and it puts 1% tourism levy onto the booking. That's for South Africa. The gate report, what I said to you, if they want to use it, the tablet at the gate with the guard, and it can show you who's in the property and who's gone out. Okay. I can't remember if I've got mine active, but let's see. Okay, so it's not active, and it will show you who came in, what's the time, what's the vehicle registration, how many guests are in, and how many is out. Okay. Then price list analysis, everything on your price list. You can also pull a report to see what price list items that you sell and how many of them did you sell. I didn't sell any prices items for that. So let's go up until end November. And there's all my priceless items. It shows you the price, the value sold, and the quantity. Okay. Then promo code usage. So like I said to you, in Q2B, the venue setup, when we do it, you'll see you can set up a promo code. You can use the promo code internally, or they can advertise with a promo code, and they can say, book now with this promo code and get 10% discount. And then you can pull a report to say how many times was this promo code used. And I'm just going to leave it on all my promo codes. and they can pull a full promo code. How many times did somebody use that promo code, and on which bookings was the promo code used? I don't think I have a lot. Okay, nothing. So my promo codes wasn't used because I don't advertise. It's not a real venue. Then we can also set up an admin fee. I know Botswana and another country, Lesotho, they've got a standard fee that they charge, and then we call it the admin fee. You can set it up in your venue setup, and then you can pull a report to see how much tourism fee or I can't remember all the countries, they call it different things, but you can set it up and applies to each booking, and then you can pull a report on it. Availability report is, let's say a tour operator phones you and he says, do you have availability for that weekend? You can pull a report for him. So let's say he wants to see my availability for the 9th, and I can say, show it in categories for him, all my accommodation that's available, print the report, and it will show, and you can even add the prices, and it will show him how many of what. I've got 3 apartments available, 1 campsite, and all my resources. It will show him what I've got available. Okay, STR is a company, but they're quite expensive, that we integrated with, where hotels can check their occupancy. STR.com, go there. Okay, but they charge, I think, $500 a year for property and more. Okay, and they give you reports like this, where you can see your revenue, you can see your occupancy in your area, and you can see your neighbors, what is their occupancy, and then see if yours are low or in par with your neighbors. That is STR. Okay, so that's all the management reports. Any questions on them? Okay, then we're going to go to debtors. Q2B is not an accounting system, but we do keep record of the debtors. So quote in the past and future, unpaid invoices in the past and future. So if I click on that hyperlink, it shows me all the invoices, and it's past already. The event is expired and the people left already and they still owe me money. Unpaid invoices in the future. This is in the future. The invoice is 1 to 3 days old, and there I can see who still owes me money there. So everything is hyperlinks, and we show it. You can click on the totals or click there, and it will filter down to all the bookings making up that amount. Then company statement. So if a company booked with you, you want to give them a statement, they require a statement. And I say, please pull a statement. I can print it in layout 1, just shows you all the bookings and outstanding monies. And then layout 2 shows you debits and credits. So I can pull a full statement for a company. Okay. And I can also email the statement to a company. For debtors report, okay, I can say include customers, only past events, or leave it open and all the events, and I can see all my debtors, and it will show me who's a customer and who's a company, and there's all my debtors. Okay, then I'm going to go into channel manager, and this is where the client is not really a lot involved. All he needs to do is he needs to go to booking.com select Q2B as his channel manager, and then we get a notification this property belongs to you, and then we map the rooms. Okay, and the mapping, we just say open up the link with let's say Agoda or booking.com or Expedia. Okay, and we put the property ID in there, the currency keys, push the rates from, and update the rates, update the minimum stays, and save. And then we pull in the categories from the OTA and we map it with Q2B's categories or rooms. So a venue doesn't really come here often. We do it for them, and we'll do the same for your clients. But sometimes they want to see all the reservations from the OTAs. Then they can select booking.com and it will open up all the reservations from booking.com. And all the server logs is also available to view for them. So if they push rates and they push availability to a OTA, the logs will show you that it was successful or not successful. Okay, then customer list. So there's all the customers for the venue. We also help them with the first upload, but we do have a template. Okay, so I will set up your own contract that you can use for your clients, and I'll give you the templates that you send to a client. Okay, and then they send it in that template, and we'll help you to upload on the server. And there's all the customers, and they can always export it to Excel again. Now, just to show you on a client, and I think it was info at Q2B as one. I can edit the client. Okay, and there's my client details, the email, blah, 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 and all of that. But I blacklisted her. So Q2B's clients can blacklist a customer. They can put a note in. Why did they blacklist the customer? And let's say she damaged something. You can put a case number in there. Okay. So if that customer is trying to book with me or online, it will just say to him, you cannot book online. Please contact the venue. Earlier on, it popped up on the screen, and I said I'll show that to you. You see, it says the customer was blacklisted at demo site Q2B full subscription. So it will tell you this customer was blacklisted by Q2 Lodge. Okay, and it will tell you that this. So it doesn't stop you from making the booking. It just tells you that this customer has previously been blacklisted, so you know how to look out for them. Okay. So we've built it in just for our venues to be a little bit protected with people leaving with their TVs and their fridges and their towels, etc. I just want to unblacklist myself. Then we've also got mail. Okay, no mail. For the RSVP, all the online communication, if the customer ticks, I don't want mail from you, in South Africa we've got the PAPIA Act, then it ticks it, and if you export your customers for marketing, your marketing list, then it will not export those no mailers. Okay, these are all the guests that use the RSVP link and RSVP for functions. Okay, so they used the RSVP link before. And then our marketing list, which you can now say, I want to see all my room customers. And it shows you all your room customers. And then you can export it to Excel. I won't have the no mailers in here. Do you see? If I ticked I don't want to receive your marketing, it will not be in here anymore. Okay, so you can export it to Excel. Then companies and rates. So if I look for Q2B, I can just type in there Q2B. If I want to see who booked previously under this company, just click on the little man. So let's go Q2B. Oh, sorry, let me go back one. Okay, so all these companies, you can check if they have people listed who booked on them before. Okay, and all the customers will show that booked under that company name. If you want to edit the company, also very easy. There's upsell and there's the email. I can allocate a account number, a telephone number, the country code for them to use, which area, province, and I can link a rate to a company as well. Then under help, there's our user manual, our setup manual. So the setup is what we will do on the next training, where you set up a venue, but the user manual is everything that we've done today. So there's our WhatsApp number for people to WhatsApp our chatbot so that we can assist you on support. Technical support will only help you if it's a technical error, and user support is info@Q2B. But we're trying to everybody to use our chatbot and WhatsApp support. And that's how far I'm going to push you for the day, guys. I'll push you the next time on CRM training and venue setup. So what I want to do is I want to create logins for you on my demo site for now, and then you can come and play around here. Okay. Until you have done the venue setup, and I will open up demo sites for you and you can set up your own demo. So first I want you to play around. So Brian, let's do yours first. Brian, I didn't create one for you yet. Hi, Brian. On conferencing, does the report show number of conferences, days, and total conference packs? Yes, if you click on the drop down, you can see all the packs. Okay, so Brian, help me type your email for me in the box, in the chat box there. Your surname is Mojo. Give me your surname. Mojo. How do you, oh, you can't talk to me, so you can't tell me. Mojo. It sounds like a good word. Okay. And I'm not going to add a telephone number in for you. And then just type your email for me. I'm just going to stop the recording for now. I don't want everybody to see your details. Stop. Okay.